everyone. We're the Dreadies. We're playing DreadLore, L-O-R-E, a tabletop role-playing game system that focuses on immersive and cooperative storytelling. It is an alternative to other role-playing games which you might have heard of. And it's really good. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I hate them. Our current campaign is the Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
Red Writ.
Imagine Detroit, 1982. Where some weird things are going on, but only a few people are seeing it. Guess who those people are? Everybody who's seeing it, right? Wave your hands.
Oh.
A small group of people, our players, have found themselves in the middle of it, an ancient horror, the unknown, a twisted fate. Something within each of them compels them to search on for the truth, even if that means the worst. Join us as we discover the truth of the Red Writ. There we go. Yes. Media production is by Couchfire Media. Music is by all lowercase letters and misterinterrupt. Special thanks goes out to the Patreon papers, the recurring stars, Tim Roberts, narrative NPCs, Daniel Hulker. All of the descriptions and the links and all the goodness are, where they normally are, in the bio, in the description, on the Twitch. You can find them. I believe in you. Please write a review if you have bought a book on Amazon or DriveThruRPG. It is also, the DreadLore book is also available on EPUB now, and it looks pretty sexy. Sign up for the Dark newsletter and you'll get a discount on DreadLore stuff. And then there's also a meetup called the DreadLore Enclave if you're in Los Angeles. We stream on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. And this is released on every podcast imaginable, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right. Hey, if you're watching us on Twitch, you know what you should do. Hey, Drizzle, what should they do?
They should comment in the chat so we know you're there.
What else should they do?
Like and subscribe.
And follow and all that stuff.
And follow.
I added some little bits and pieces. They're called alerts. Hopefully they're not annoying. You guys have channel points. You can use them to affect the game. If you purchase with channel points a pip, you can change something about the past, something small. You can also gift that pip to one of the players. If you purchase a narrative point, you can do the same thing, except narrative points affect the present. So in our last game, Lil Gotham, one of our viewers, bought a narrative point with channel points and then was like, this is going to be the name of their squad. And it was. You can remind us to hydrate. That can be water, bourbon, coffee, whatever you want. Okay. That's the intro.
And if they really want to have fun, they can affect the game and force us to speak in funny accents.
That's right. You can do all of those things. Let's have you guys introduce yourselves, and then we'll do a little bit of a recap. We'll start with Ken.
I am a journalist in real life. And Nord is also a journalist, but my journalism, I have ethics, and Nord does not. Nord is the character that I play in the Red Writ. He is searching for answers. He works for a little newspaper, kind of like the National Enquirer, and makes an okay living, good enough to afford his own van and gas mileage. So he's doing great, traveling the world, reporting on the strange, obscure, unique, and weird.
Hit up Drizzle.
Oh yeah, Nord also makes enough money to buy lots of drugs, but that's a different.
Does he buy them though, or just get them?
Well, I don't know. I'll eventually find out because I am a private eye. I'm Drizzle. I play Simon Vincent. He's a hard-boiled detective who believes that all this stuff can be rationalized out some way. He doesn't want to believe that this stuff is supernatural in any possible way. But we shall see how things go.
We'll do Holker.
My character is Antoni Czerniak. Tony is a former priest who left the church of his own volition and of other people's volition as well, and is now a border guard at the Detroit-Windsor crossing. And Tony does not think that his time in seminary was wasted. Thinks there's something to this. Maybe it's not exactly what he was given in seminary, but he thinks there's something to it. He's going to find out, and probably lose his job in the process.
That's
Andrea?
You discharged your weapon in your apartment building.
My character is Leah Mizrahi. She is a former IDF soldier who decided to move to Detroit after things got a little bit hairy, where she happened to live in sort of what was part of Israel at the time. And she for some reason she decided to move to Detroit, of all places, with her daughter and her husband. And she kind of she's heard lots of strange stories in her time in the IDF of people seeing stuff. So she's not a believer in the sense that she knows it's, she knows really what's going on, but she knows that weird shit happens.
And you guys have a few NPCs, non-player characters with you. Who are they?
Right now we have
oh,
Rebecca
go ahead.
Foster,
Yep.
who's
What's she
a
look like and all
local
that goodness?
lady of the night.
That's all we got?
I don't remember
We
what she
also
looks like.
have my daughter.
She looks like the image that we have, she's wearing short shorts and a white little tank top.
Yeah, she's rather attractive.
She's very
Nord-
attractive.
Nord should know exactly what she looks like.
I feel like
Yeah,
Nord
Nord
has
should quite
an
enamored
interest
with
in her,
Rebecca
and
Foster.
I think she likes him.
She might.
She might not. She might not. I mean, she might think he's a good John too. I mean, who knows?
So she's got dark shoulder length hair. She's about average height for a lady, maybe like 5'6", we'll say. And she's not athletic, but she's lean, and is a handsome woman. You've seen her in a variety of dress, which right now, I believe she's in a dark polka dotted, like almost like a flapper dress, but not as 1920s about it. Think of like a more revealing Sunday dress or spring dress. It
Was
does
it
not
a
at all.
itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today?
How do you know that song?
How do you not know that song?
I don't know that song. I don't know that song. I didn't sing those songs. Okay? Where I come from, there were no songs.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, that's who she is. Normally you have another NPC, Leah's daughter, who would like to describe Leah Mizrahi. How about Holker?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm teaching class. Okay, students, and it'll be Holker.
She is a 10-year-old girl, I believe.
Yep, going on 16.
Yeah. Who really scared the crap out of Tony one time, and Tony hasn't really let it go. He kind of got her back, but kind of scared her back, but not really. Yeah.
Yep.
Tends to be tends to have trouble holding her tongue in certain situations. But I mean, what are you gonna do? She's a kid.
Yeah, she's rather precocious. And another NPC that you kind of sort of have is Detective Idaway, and I'll let Simon talk about him.
Yeah,
You've only seen him a couple times, but
yeah, he's the guy that Simon used to work with in the police force. When Simon took early retirement, Idaway was still on the force, and he's kind of going a little bit crazy. He has been researching these disappearances that happen every equinox for years, and basically hired us to try and find the girl and protect this other girl, Annabelle.
Yep, and this picture of Detective Idaway is perfect. That's great. Although he is African American. But
I mean, you got to tell me these things.
But
I think this is the first time that
he's a
you've
mix.
seen this image before.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it. He's a mix. He's African American Caucasian. So, whatever. If it's never been mentioned, then that's what he looks like now.
This is what he looks like.
Yeah, the flash was on bright, and it was the winter. Oops. Anyway, wow. I love that picture. It's just, of course.
He's got his pretzel and some donuts.
Yeah, he's got the donuts.
Claws.
Dude, it's fucking big.
He looks like he's...
that's a serious mustache too, man. That it almost rivals Drizzle's mustache.
It does. It doesn't though.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all.
It's these handlebars as opposed to these handlebars.
I see. Don't know if you guys knew, but Drizzle's like a beard contender. Okay.
I could have been a contender.
I could have been a contender. So, who's our sponsor for tonight?
Our sponsor tonight is Apathy. And oh, fuck it.
I feel that. Oh my God.
All right. So it's been a couple weeks since we were back. Last week we did a different setting called Into Space, where everybody played Space Marines. Andrea, we won't go too much into that. We can do it in the after hours if you're around. But we'll likely do that again next week when assuming you're not here. So we'll do a little bit of a recap. Recap time. We need recap music.
Okay.
Here's the recap. The party found themselves in a quandary when Simon spotted a cop car staked outside of Barker's Books and Oddities. Simon decided to nip things in the bud and approach the cops, because that's smart. They claimed they were looking for Nord's alias, Greg Silver, one of Nord's aliases. Aliens. But something was unsettling about them. Inside the bookstore, Nord and Leah raid Grimwald's veritable alchemist lab, Grimwald being the proprietor. The party steals a few books and money from the cash drawer, because they're good people, before using some old-fashioned tricks to evade the staked-out detectives. Nord in his van, and the rest in the Buick. Nord smells the presence of formaldehyde inside his van. Annabelle is a person, by the way. Annabelle is dropped off at her house in Grosse Pointe, and Leah entrusts her daughter with Eunice, the waitress at the fancy diner. The entire group heads to pick up Rebecca Foster with the intention to head to the Hideaway Jazz Club. They hope to find out where the Bell Grove Masquerade will be held. So a party. Nord smells the scent of formaldehyde in the elevator. The building they're in is called The Boulevard. This is the apartment building that Simon and Tony live in, and Rebecca as well. Rebecca and Nord get on fine, while Leah notices someone has broken into Simon's room down the hallway. Simon watches for the intruder to leave, and seeing where he's staked out, Nord, Tony, and Simon get the drop on him. It's another detective. Dun-dun! The trio coaxes the detective to give Simon back what he'd stolen from his apartment. Before driving off, the detective implies a threat. The trio return to Rebecca's room, where she and Leah are having an awkward conversation. Next on the Red Writ. Okay.
The Red Writ.
So now that everybody's, up to speed, we'll go in typical DreadLore fashion. We'll go into the montage. You're supposed to start the game in the montage to just kind of set things up. This is soft role play. So you guys are moving up into the apartment in an elevator toward Rebecca Foster's, unless you want to do something else. And the first encounter we're going to have is going to be with Rebecca and Leah as they're left alone in Rebecca's room. So before you guys get there, we'll have that encounter. That said, kind of sort of what is the trio doing right now? And you guys can role play and such.
When we get up there, I'm going to go into my room and put this stuff back. He was somehow able to get into my strong safe. I'm going to see if he blew it open or how he got into it. If you guys want to go to Rebecca's, that's fine. If you want to step into my apartment with me, that's fine as well. I've just got to put this stuff back and see if maybe he got something else.
Actions
I'm a
on you
little
all.
hungry, so I could use a snack if you got some food in there.
There's probably some bologna and bread.
That sounds great.
I don't fix stuff at home.
Yeah, you don't live in LA.
I get most of the times I'm on stakeouts anyway, so I'm eating some sort of crap in my car.
I noticed.
But hey, you have no room to talk.
Hey, I live in my car.
I know that's what I mean.
I guess you live in your car too.
I spend a lot of time in there.
You get a lot done, You're closer to places.
Yep, you also can get out of places quicker.
Exactly.
Tony, do
I
you need
live
to stop
down the
by your
hall.
place?
Do what?
So I live down
Tony,
the hall.
do you need to stop by your place?
I'd like to, just to see if the guy that tried to take us all out is still there, and maybe he can try it again.
Walk into a trap. That sounds good. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we should all go in together and make sure that the coast is clear before entering either of the apartments. Who knows what we'll run into.
That's what I was hoping for. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say I'm a little afraid to go back into my old apartment. I am a bit scared of the dark now. Hard to blame me, I guess. But yeah, your assistance would be very helpful going into my apartment or anyone else's for that matter.
Don't
Hey.
read any more passages out of books. I feel like unless it's like a kid's book.
I don't, maybe given what happened a couple days ago, maybe he'll at least realize I'm serious when I shot him or whoever that was.
Yeah, Cloyce.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cloyce is a scary dude. I mean, he can't. It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter what we do. We shoot him, we kill him, we run from him. I mean, I feel like you and I successfully almost ran from him until Simon showed up.
In the elevator, Nord, it smells like formaldehyde.
Like super thick.
Yep, still.
I think they might be here still, so you might have a point. Maybe we should check on the girls. First.
We can.
And then kind of go together, because those guys are tough. Cloyce is tough.
Sounds like a plan.
Anything else you guys are doing as you're riding up the elevator?
No.
Great. Inside, the elevator is maybe we'll hit 3rd floor. Ding. As you still got to go to the 4th. Inside Rebecca Foster's apartment. Leah, the apartment looks just like all the other apartments you've been in this building. They're kind of en suites, and they mirror each other, alternating as it goes. Rebecca's is on the corner of the building, so you can hear the street down below from both sides. That said, the street noises act as a kind of white noise to blanket the paper-thin walls, the sounds from the paper-thin walls of the apartment. You can hear TVs on in all directions because you're on the 4th floor, and people shouting. You smell the cooking of somebody burning, their dinner. And a baby, of course, is crying somewhere. Someone's doing jumping jacks, and someone else is doing something else. In this living area, it's done up pretty nice, actually. You notice that the furniture and stuff, it's a little bit old timey. So remember, it's 1982. This stuff is probably from late 60s, but it's well dusted and that kind of stuff. Upon closer inspection, you can tell that it is hygienic. It's not particularly clean. The dust has been swept under the rug, so to speak. This is a very presentable place, but it's maybe a place that she doesn't stay in all the time. She's out and about. She's entertaining guests, we'll say, quite a bit. It's all topical. But it's nice. Fake plants and all these sorts of things. There's a little candy dish, and there's a few glasses with, I believe it was rum she was serving you all. Or was it gin? I think it was gin. She'd given everybody gin, and she's actually served you a gin tonic as well. It's sitting there sweating on the table, as we'll say that you haven't drank any of it. She's sitting across the room diagonally from you in a little love seat. So it's a little bit too big for her. And we'll say that you're on the couch. And it's really quiet other than the noises, the sounds I described. The boys have been gone for maybe 5-6 minutes. What are you doing? Rebecca's avoiding eye contact.
Fair. Leah will, she'll let the silence, hang for a bit, and then, after a little while, she'll look directly at Rebecca and grab the gin and take a full sip of it, and set it back down on the table very loudly, and say, "So, what is your relationship with my husband?"
This is the montage, so there's no need to bid and all that stuff. You see the slight grimace, just the creases in her makeup. She's, I want to say, how old are you? How old is Leah?
If I were to guess, I'd say she's probably like 35, 40, around there.
So Rebecca is in her, as far as you can tell, middle late 20s. She might be older, but she looks like, maybe she might be 30. That said, you can tell she's been around the block. She has a lot of experience. This is not her first rodeo. Maybe not the first time an angry wife has come and talked to her. As she's sitting there, you see the grimace appear as she happens to be drinking when you say this, and she can't say anything. Very conveniently, as she kind of, who's your husband again? She takes another longer sip.
Marcus? Mizrahi?
Marcus. I know a few Marks. It's a pretty common name around here. When did you all get to the States?
I don't think the accent is going to be terribly hard to miss.
Oh, he has an accent? Oh. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe I've met him. Has he mentioned me? She looks up. You know, you note how beautiful she is in this moment.
Oh, come now. Don't play this evasive game with me. Just give it to me straight.
We're not going to do... Normally, I would do a fate roll here. But we're in the montage, so we're not going to do that. She looks at you, and you see her eyes kind of soften a little bit. Out of game, it's usually the Arbiter's decision to stay in montage or the Dread. Players can force going into the Dread by bidding. The reason for doing this is where do you want to spend, as the Arbiter, where do you want to spend most of the time? Where do you want the tension to build? In the Dread, you're going to have a lot of tension. In the montage, you're not. Things are just moving in the montage. And so sometimes it's in the player's best interests to stay in the montage because it's just going to kind of move forward, but you don't have as much agency. If you want the agency, then you want to go to the Dread. That is not to you, Andrea. That's just to the ether. Yeah. To explain how I'm running the game. So we're staying in the montage. Her eyes kind of soften a little bit, and you see maybe her head tilt. She sets the gin down kind of in her lap. This is going to need more gin. As she stands up and pours you both some, gets some fresh ice. She says, "Do you need some fresh ice?"
I'm good, thank you.
She packs hers full, and you see she maybe has been a bartender. Like, she makes this whole drink. She's stirring. You always stir gin. As she's stirring, she sits back down. Squeeze of lime. He's visited a couple times. Nothing happened. I know you don't believe it. I know you don't believe it.
So what does he do when he comes and visits?
Her eyes like flicker up to where the sort of the corner of the ceiling. You just happen to notice. Maybe she's thinking, you're not necessarily sure. But she seems to be looking up and to the right towards the apartment building. He's come here to, I guess the easiest way to put it is get away. We don't really talk much. And she's sort of thinking into her drink as she stirs it. She looks back up at you. I know you know what I am, or what I do. That's never happened with your husband.
Seems like a rather frivolous way to spend money, no offense.
He doesn't pay. She kind of guffaws.
So, that seems odd.
Maybe he just wants a friend? You can tell Rebecca's smarter than that. And she's definitely
Perhaps
being
he
a little
wants-
coy.
Perhaps he doesn't. Perhaps he just simply doesn't want to pay.
And out of game, just because an NPC tells you something doesn't mean it's the truth, by the way. I guess I should tell you, he doesn't want you to know.
Well, obviously. I mean, like, even under the best of circumstances, it doesn't look good. Shall we say?
Yeah. How'd you find out?
Unfortunately, well, I guess fortunately, depending on your perspective, but my daughter was a little, not exactly forthcoming, but I wheedled something out of her that perhaps she wasn't supposed to share.
You see the grimace return, and Rebecca says something to herself under her breath, but you can't quite hear it. As she looks back up and says, well, I think I can tell you some. I don't know much about what's going on with him. And I don't really know if it's my place to tell you.
Well, go ahead, continue.
He's scared. She looks at you quite straight in the face on this. He's scared. He said he's being followed. And she looks back up towards somewhere in the ceiling, over where the door is. It might draw your attention to the door, and you notice how many locks she has on it. I won't lie, some strange things started happening after he showed up. He said some men were after him, and someone had visited him, somebody he knew from the past. And he didn't want you or your daughter to know.
The person that visited him, did his name happen to be Cloyce?
I don't know. He didn't say his name. He just said it'd been a while. Honestly, we didn't talk much. He just kind of stayed here, and she points, kind of gestures with the drink towards the door. Those locks are because of him. He put those on. He would stay there and sleep on the couch, and she looks up at the window and stare out at the window.
Strange.
It's
How long
about
ago
that
did this
time.
start happening?
It's about that time you hear the boys get to the door. The door is locked. As Rebecca stands up and goes over to the door. You guys are on the other side of it, unless you decided to go elsewhere.
No.
I don't know. Let me think. Speaking of, for you all, are you going elsewhere? Or are you going to Rebecca's door?
We're gonna stop by there first, make sure they're okay.
Okay. She
And
opens
then
it
go
up, and you are all in this encounter.
Hey, yo, you guys okay in here?
Oh yeah, getting along great. She looks over your shoulder at Nord and smiles.
Hey, Rebecca. How you doing?
Oh, fine. Are you all leaving again?
I hope
I'm
not.
doing-
Of course we
I'm
are.
gonna
The
run-
writing's on the wall.
Oh, yeah. I guess I got to go to this club at some point here in a minute, but
I need to run to my apartment
love to.
and drop this off.
Well, I'll go get my things. She turns back to you, Leah. A few weeks, maybe a couple months. And you see her briskly walk past, sits down half of her drink. She's drained half of it. You might note that she's had 3 or 4 of these, and it doesn't seem to have affected her at all. As you hear her rummaging around in the back room. You guys are all there?
She does. You sure about that? Okay. Do you guys leave?
Well, we were checking to make sure you hadn't killed each other first.
Oh, fair enough.
I need to drop this stuff in my apartment real quick.
And we got to check on my apartment too.
Okay, well, we will catch up with you in a moment.
A few moments later, Rebecca comes out. You see she's got this so she has her black or navy dress on, comes up to like half thigh, has some like frills, polka dots. She's got on these laced up boots and this black leather jacket. It kind of has a little bit of a punky look. It'll have like a little hoodie thing on it as well. As she, in a little handbag, she's like, "Where are we going?" And you see her make to leave the apartment.
I will head out. I'm just gonna drop this off real quick. I'll be back in.
Oh, I've
30
never
seconds.
seen your apartment. I'll follow.
Okay.
yeah, let's
Make yourself a
let's go on
home. Make
tour.
yourself a home.
Okay. So I will go over and unlock my door, turn on the lights, and go in.
All right.
I'm going with Simon because I'm hungry.
I might as well follow the rest of the crew.
Leah, what about you?
Leah will
Search the place.
Leah will close. Well, Leah will say, "You guys have fun," and close the door.
All right. Rebecca goes with you all. Nord, she lines up with you behind Simon and Tony, and you can smell the sweat off of her. She just looks up at you and breathes heavy.
Does it smell good? I mean, am I like? Is it like pheromones-y kind of
That's
like?
That's up to you, dog.
I mean, I feel like there's a good sweat, you know, like when you.
That's
smell
like
people,
stress
it's-
sweat, man. That's not good sweat.
I mean, it just it's one of those things. I mean, sometimes I think that you know people. I mean, we're getting to a weird place, but I think that you know there is humanity was supposed to smell a little bit, and I think people who are attracted to other people enjoy the smell of those people. Sweat or not?
Yeah. That's entirely up to Nord.
I mean, I think Nord would
this is definitely
enjoy a good sweaty woman.
This is definitely a bit of a stress sweat. Yeah, she smells great.
Okay,
Musky. I mean, she's got on perfume and stuff like that too.
sure.
All right, you guys get to Simon's.
I'll comfort her and like be like, "Are you doing okay? Is everything go okay in there?"
Yeah, as she kind of nestles up to you a little bit, maybe a little too practiced. And she
I'll take it.
She whispers, "I need another drink."
All right, we'll go get another drink here in a minute.
You guys are made for each other. Simon.
Yep.
Actions on all you guys.
I open the door and I go in.
You do?
I'll go over and turn off the TV, turn on the lights. Nord, there's like I said, there's some bologna in the fridge. Should be some bread right next to the fridge. I'm gonna go back in my room. I'll be right back out.
Sounds good.
Yep.
I'll go in and start making everybody sandwiches.
Yep, you make the sandwiches.
Because we haven't eaten in a while.
It's been a while. What about you, Tony?
I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna look at the walls to see if there's bloody runes strewn all over them.
Nope, not at all.
Nothing, huh? Oh, that's great. It's great to walk into an apartment without stuff written on the wall in blood and someone trying to shoot you.
Simon?
Yeah. So I go into my bedroom and I shut the door behind me. And I go to my secret safe.
Secret safe.
Yeah. And I...
You notice the... it is shut. It is locked.
Right. So my safe is... because the face of it would have been facing the wall.
Okay.
So is the face of it still facing the wall, or has it been turned around?
Yep. It looks like it's been unadulterated.
Okay. So I will turn the safe around and open it and see, like, I'll look at it and see if there are any scratch marks or anything like that on it before opening it.
Just cursory glance. You don't notice any scratches or anything like that. Hello, Corgi. Andrea turned into a dog. Polymorph. You don't notice any scratches or any damage to it. However, there is a fine dust on it. It's a sort of a whitish, violet-hued powder. Just barely. It looks just like dust, but it is out of the ordinary.
Okay. I will sniff it and see if I know what it is.
You sniff it? All right, so we'll do a reaction roll, which you can do. You can have in a montage because it doesn't break it because there's no bidding. So this would be brawn and your action die.
Brawn. Okay.
Yeah, threshold for this is 3. Hold on a second. 2. It'll be 2.
Well, I got 2.
Hell yeah. So that is limbo, which is a good spot to be in. It's a success, but it's a dirty success. Yes, but situation. You are capable of doing all the things you normally are if you want to attempt to get more successes.
No. Well, let me see here. I will bid confident on my flask.
Yeah.
So after I sniff it, I'm like, and I'll take a swig.
Yep. So go ahead and do that extra die. See if you get
it's D8.
Clean success.
Yep. That's a clean success because there's one success on each die.
Nice. So you are not poisoned. And for the record, it's actually not a poison; it's a toxin. So as you sniff it, immediately you realize, oh no, that should not be in my face. As maybe you rub your nostrils and sneeze and back away from it. You do recognize the scent, the sort of caustic scent of sorry, my computer's acting up. The caustic scent of some toxin. What it is, you're not really sure. But you know that it's like smelling ammonia. You know that shouldn't be in your body.
Okay. I will go ahead and open the safe and put the stuff that he got from my safe back in there. Mm-hmm. And notice if there is any, because it was a couple of files. So, but they were the files on top. I look at them and make sure that was all that he got, because I would know the next file down. So, and then as long as that's true, I'll shut the safe, turn it back, and go wash my hands.
Yep. It's exactly as you just described. Okay. He gave you back everything that he had taken.
Okay. So I'll go back out. I'll shut the door behind me, and I'll be like, "Okay, I've got my stuff done here. Let me top off my flask real quick, and we can go check on Tony's. How are you doing over there, Nord?"
I'm just about done with the
You
sandwiches.
see him with a bunch of sandwiches.
Oh, you made some
I've
for
been
everyone.
flirting with the Rebecca.
We
the
know
whole
you've been
time,
flirting with Rebecca.
showing like how
you make
to make a
sandwiches.
proper bologna sandwich.
This is like
the
yeah.
toast just the right amount of crispy. I'm gonna do everything I can to make this a glamorous bologna sandwich. Maybe fry the bologna just a little bit.
Yeah. Simon, as you
There's a
walk
mess
back
my
in,
kitchen.
Simon, you walk back in, you see that Rebecca is sitting next to the range, far enough away to where she's not getting burned. I'm assuming it's gas. She's sitting on the counter, so facing towards when you walk in, and Nord has his back to you, and he's grilling some bologna. You walk in just as she has the bologna, and she's mouthing it, like miming, playing with a big bologna, as she looks up and sees you and sits it down really quick.
Well, we've got another Chef Boyardee here, huh?
Simon is standing. Simon, you're standing. Tony is standing awkwardly in the corner, like looking through a cupboard.
All right,
You're not gonna
this
find
is
anything in there, Tony.
This is ready. Let's eat.
Hey, well, let's take it go and head to Tony's.
Sounds good.
All right, in Rebecca's apartment, what are you doing, Leah? Drinking. What are you doing?
So Leah will go over to her unfinished glass and take a few sips. And in Rebecca's glass, did she leave any liquid, or did she finish it up before she left?
Oh yeah, it has about half of gin tonic in it.
Okay.
Which, if you
Leah,
smell, you can tell there's very, very little tonic in there.
Fair. Anyway, so Leah goes over to it and pulls out the vial of the nightshade.
Yeah.
And says, let me think. Let me see. If I were to guess, she's probably about 125, 130-ish. And she will, pop the cork on the nightshade, and very carefully measure out an exact amount into the glass, and grab the stirring spoon and stir it in. And if you need me to throw down for this, that's perfectly fine, because I'm trying to do something very specific.
Well, so that's when you would bid and break the montage.
Okay.
If you want to control the scene and have agency, that's when you want to do that. Otherwise, it's whatever the fuck I say it is.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and do that and bid poisoner.
All right. So we're in the dread. As Leah bids poisoner. All right. You will need to throw down on this because you're using nightshade, right?
Yes. But for a very specific purpose.
To poison Rebecca.
I'm not trying to kill her. And there's
a lot of, I mean, it's not good for you.
No, it's not great. I mean, well, it's not inherently bad for you. What the problem is when you take too much nightshade.
Yeah, I mean, it'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
It will cause death if you put too much in.
That is true. Yes, it's very true. So let's see. I'm gonna say that's either mind or, well, that's probably mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say mine's fine.
Yeah. That is 3 successes.
Did I tell you what the threshold was?
You do not know.
What are you specifically trying to do? That's going to determine how difficult it is.
Fair enough. There is. So Nightshade has several properties. You can, in lower doses, you can use it for a pain reliever. And basically, there's a borderline right on that threshold between that and killing somebody, where it basically becomes a truth serum and forces somebody to tell you whatever you want to know, essentially.
All right, so out of game, really quick. Do not try this at home. This is fantasy land.
Well,
none of this is true. Don't do it at all. None of us are medical professionals at all. So, this is fantasy. All right. Just so the world knows, we're not teaching them how to make bombs and truth serum.
Anti-heroes.
Right. This is bad news bears. Do not do this. Okay. Also, in real life, really bad shit happens. In this game, we're gonna let dice determine what happens. So, all right. PSA over with. Whew. All right. Yeah, you do that. You're trying to make a truth serum out of this. You have poisoner or poisoneer or whatever. Which makes sense. So it makes sense that you kind of know how to use these kind of chemicals, these fantasy chemicals, and especially what your job was. In the fantasy military that we have in this game. So it's not an incredibly high threshold. However, you're doing this on the fly. You're eyeballing it. So
yeah,
it's an exact science that you're not doing exactly.
I mean, if you want me to, I could even throw in a chaos die in that too.
Oh, you're definitely going to get a chaos die.
Fair enough.
Yeah, roll a d6 chaos die. I'm going to give this a threshold 4. It's quite difficult. If you beat that, it has the effect you want. The way that elixirs and such work in DreadLore, there's always a side effect. And so what I'm doing here is, if you fail by more than 2, which is a crit, then it's going to be deadly, basically. If you beat the threshold of 4, then there's no side effect. It's exactly what you want it to be. Otherwise, there's a degree of how hard is that side effect, and I'm going to use the book for that.
Okay. So on the chaos die, I got a 5.
Okay, great. So, yeah, it's almost like you've done it before. As you do this, and tink, tink, maybe you measure exactly with like your fingernail or something. And you're like in 1 and 2, and stir it with your finger. Maybe do a little spritz of a lime as it covers up whatever the taste is. So yeah, if she drinks the drink, then she's gonna get poisoned or under the effect of this. Awesome. Great. Excellent. You guys move off to Tony's room. You are in the dread right now.
Tony, chameleon. I don't know where that came from.
Tony, your room, the door has a little note on it. The door is actually, it looks like it's just closed. No problem whatsoever. There's this note kind of balanced on the doorknob.
I look at the note.
What's the note say, Nord?
It says, stop by. You weren't here, so I wrote you this note. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't have a roommate.
Gary.
Action's on you, sir.
I open the door.
You do.
Yeah.
Your apartment is as you left it. It is a wreck.
Is the bullet hole still there?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
The apartment
right.
heals itself.
I say, all right, come in, guys. You know, I've been cleaning a lot. It used to be way worse. Way worse.
As you guys walk in, Nord, you get the sense, because you've been using your schnoz quite a bit. For everyone, it smells like just kind of salty, like the ocean in here. Nord, you get the scent of like a dock, like an old fish smell just underneath all the other smells. It's cold in here, like colder than it should be, kind of brisk.
I check to see if the windows are closed.
They are as you left them.
I would have closed them.
Then they're closed.
Yeah. So yeah, it smells like a. Probably my fault. Well, I'm just gonna look around a bit and see if old Cloyce isn't cloistered up in the closet, and then I guess we'll be on our way. So yeah, I look and check the bedroom and the closet and the bathroom.
As you do this, are you bidding anything, or are you just kind of going in and out of the rooms and doing a quick cursory search?
I'm doing a quick cursory search.
Yeah, you move around, check half check under the bed, look in your closets. What are the rest of you doing while he's doing this? Rebecca's sitting there eating, nibbling on the sandwich.
I'm gonna look at the that kitchen to see if that door was still there. That appeared. See if I can find
in the photograph
how Cloyce got in there. Yeah, from the photograph.
Yeah, as you walk in, flip on the light. It flickers a little bit. It goes dark, then comes back on. Rebecca actually holds onto your arm, and you see she stops at the threshold of the kitchen. Ooh, what was that? That was creepy.
Yeah, it's a little creepy in here. That is for sure.
As you look around, kind of a cramped kitchen, you see, it's a shotgun style all the way in the back. You see the far wall, broom and mop and stuff kind of shoved back there. And there's a little recess, but you don't see any door.
Can I bid something?
You may.
I'll bid snooping. I'm gonna look for like a hidden latch, or like go to the back of the where I saw the door and maybe knock on it to see if it feels solid.
What are you doing? She says as you walk up to that area.
There was a door here.
She kind of blinks at you and looks. Yeah. I mean, I guess in some apartments there might be a connection to the other side. As you knock, ding, 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 it has the same feel as the rest of the walls. It does look like maybe there's something beyond it, maybe beyond the drywall. It's a little bit hollow, but nothing like cavernous sounding. That said, with the bid, as you're sitting there looking around, you notice on the ground, maybe there's, in a recess of a kitchen, it's kind of the place where people just shove stuff. So, like the vacuum cleaner and like a box or two and that kind of stuff. You notice that this cardboard box, maybe 2 or 3 are sitting there, and the bottoms of them, a few inches, are completely sopping wet.
This is gross.
Oh yeah, he really needs to clean up. Was something spilled here? I mean, that's wet.
It is wet. I
She
think
looks
you
up
should
at
do
you.
a better job of cleaning up. We're not really dressed for this, are we? We got a club to go to. It's the opposite of a club. This is a different kind of party. This is a party that invites mold into our house.
This is the party I have every day.
Tony, you notice that those boxes and such are really wet, like they've been waterlogged. That it wasn't like that before.
Yeah, I think Cloyce was a swamp monster. I think he was on the island.
I mean, he seems to just appear out of nowhere.
Who's Cloyce?
One of Leah's
he's
friends.
a dead guy that they think they keep seeing.
She looks directly at Tony in the Nord. A dead guy?
Yeah, dead.
I mean, the jury's still out.
She does a serious Mr. Spock eyebrow raise. Well, I want to get out of here.
What? You mean, have you seen him?
She slow turns to you. The dead guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think we should probably go. Your apartment seems fine.
Yeah, it's fine, Tony. You don't bring girls here too often, do you?
No, but sometimes the undead shows up.
Yeah, well, let's leave.
So I will go ahead and head to the door and go over and knock on Rebecca's door.
You do. Leah, you're sitting there having done the deed, and you hear a thump, 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 thump on the door.
I go up and open it up.
All right. It's all on you guys.
We're about ready to go. Are you ready?
Yes. Actually, I was going to go ahead and finish my drink that Rebecca was so kind to make for me.
Okay.
Then I'll go back and sit on the couch, leaving the door open for them to come in if they want.
All right. What are you all doing? Action's on you.
What time's it?
It is 9:20 p.m.
So
How long does it take to get to this jazz club that should be called the Blue Note, but it's really called the Hideaway? And can I drop a pip to make it called the Blue Note, like the secret name or something?
Yep, absolutely you can.
Just
It is
because-
It is now known as the Blue Note. If
And,
you're in the know.
like
Those that
that's
are
like
in the know.
that's like the secret handshake thing to say to get VIP treatment.
Yeah, I like that.
It's the speakeasy inside the bar.
Yeah, I dig that. Yeah, you just made that up. That's awesome.
Yeah, let's head out here in a minute, and I hand Leah a perfectly made bologna sandwich.
Oh, thank you.
Rebecca's next to him eating. She's about half through hers. It's got mayonnaise on it.
Oh, you don't say. And
Mm.
Leo would like open it up and start taking a bite of it.
Yeah, it tastes
It
great.
may not be kosher. I don't know if you do kosher or not. I think
I don't
bologna
care
is.
about such.
Is it pig? Does it matter?
Bologna's probably not kosher.
Bologna's
Maybe there's
probably
like-
everything.
You'll see Leah sort of get a very serious. I mean, nothing like it'll disappear quickly, but she'll get a very serious look on her face, and she'll say, "Oh, I've seen too much shit in my life to be much of a believer."
Actually, bologna, Hebrew National Kosher Beef Bologna, is hearty for a real sandwich. There is kosher
Yeah.
bologna.
Oh, there is. Mine is
Yep.
not.
Aha. You see, it's like, definitely
See
not.
little Nazi singles on the bologna package.
So, for the chat, we are not Nazi.
Yeah, my baloney has a first name. It's Nazi.
Oh, God. It's made from real Nazis. All right,
Yeah,
so...
made from real Nazis. I guess that would be kosher, right?
It would, yeah. So...
Maybe.
I think they had cloven feet, so maybe not. Yeah, actions on you all.
So go
whose
ahead,
car are
Tony.
we taking?
Well, we'll probably need to take two. I can drive my Buick if we want to take either yours or... Rebecca, you don't have a car, right?
Mm-mm. She finishes the sandwich.
Leah
So-
will say, actually, my husband's car is not too far away.
Hey, so we can take mine and your husband's car if you want.
Okay, easy
Yeah, it
enough.
sounds like a plan.
So I'm ready when you guys are, if you're ready.
Rebecca, you wouldn't happen to know where my husband was supposed to be today, do you?
She kind of chokes on the sandwich. She just finished. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, hopefully he doesn't need to get back anytime soon. I happened to run across the car, so I took it for myself.
Oh, well, it's good. And she kind of, sits there.
Leah will lean forward and take a few more sips of her gin and tonic.
So, Rebecca, I assume you and Nord are wanting to ride with me in my Buick.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
If it's not too much of a trouble.
I think we should go. Even though, how long did it take to get there?
Leah will actually go over to where she saw Rebecca get the gin and tonic before, and pour herself a little. It's like, oh, I think I need the pregame a little bit more. Do you want some more, Rebecca?
So this would be a bid.
That's fair enough. Let's see here. Oh, good cop. That's what I'm bidding.
Okay, normally it would be rather suspect. It is it's an awkward situation, to be sure. It could definitely be.
Yeah.
It could definitely be in her mind that you're gonna fuck with her. You might even kill her. That said, it's a pretty good bid, and it is timely done. So we're gonna say that Rebecca does it. So that bid works in this situation. I think it's one of the best bids you could have. As she goes, oh yes, please. And she comes over and slurps it down.
Oh.
She is poisoned. Let's see if she makes the save.
Oh.
Oh yeah, she's pretty tough. All right, who wants to roll for her?
I'll roll for.
Yeah,
hey,
Nord
she-
should,
Because
since
I'm the one that's probably, that I'm trying to get in her pants. So
it's-
All right, so so PSA, don't do this at home. Right. So Rebecca Foster, you are going to find something out of game about her. She's pretty fucking tough. She has D10s, so it's 2d10, and her bow def, which is bonus defense, is +2.
Ooh.
She is quite strong with the force.
That is, I got a 10 and a 6.
Okay, so it's 3 successes of 5. Essentially what that does is it means that right now it doesn't have any effect on her. The thing with toxins and poisons is they're over duration. And if you're in combat, then it's over like rounds, and however long a round is. For this, basically this scene, she's going to be dealing with this toxin. And she's got to beat it 3 times to not have adverse effects. She did just beat it because the threshold for it is 4. That said, she still has the other condition, which is it makes her a little bit more drunk than she would normally be. Full disclosure for mechanics, it's not that she's not drunk, it's that she can deal with it because she's got really high stats for dealing with this kind of stuff. Yeah. So go on.
With an NPC character like this, do they get anything for flair if they roll? Okay, I didn't know if there was some sort of like
narrative NPC. Narrative NPC, you could say they do, but in the book, no.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah, they don't. Their stats are similar to players, but they're different quite a bit. Like they technically have abilities, but they don't have abilities like you guys.
Okay.
Like they just do their abilities.
Right.
And they usually have far fewer, and also their abilities rarely give them bonuses. It's more like they can do a thing, and that's what happens. Right. So she drains this cup in front of you, Leah. There's this tight shot of you and her as you're watching her sipping. Watching her over the rim of your glass, and she's like, "Globe."
Oh, I honestly won't be that. I'll be very casual about it. Like I'll side eye her, every now and then when I can tell she's not looking. But I'm definitely not. Actually, if anything, after a few minutes after she takes a drink, I'll kind of get like a little smile on her face and like quirk my eyebrow, impressed with the fact that she's, hasn't shown any signs yet.
Yeah. You notice there's lipstick on the glass as she sits it down, wipes her mouth with her hand, like the back of her hand. Let's go. And there's a little of a wobble, little bit, but she's ready to rock and roll, man.
Okay.
Let me type really quick that she's poisoned. Hold on. Poisoned. With nightshade. God. That is perfect. All right. We will montage. Do you guys know where the Blue Note / hideaway is?
I believe we do.
All right, can we pull up the mappity map? Right, so it's a montage. As you guys I'm mukbanging. And you guys are getting to the Blue Note / hideaway. So actions on you as to how you're going about this and what you're specifically doing, and the role play that you have between each other. Go. Rebecca just follows along.
I hop into the car, and I assume that Nord and Rebecca get in with me.
Absolutely. We get in the back seat.
Do you get in, Tony,
Definitely.
or do you go with Leah?
I'm gonna get in. Is anyone else going with Leia? Then I guess I'll go with Leia.
Okay. So, it looks like I'm chauffeuring the two of you around then, and I'll start up the car and start heading.
She kind
that
of
way.
giggles in the back. It's like a chauffeur service. Thank you so much, Simon.
I know we're in the montage, but I kind of want to bid something.
Well, before you do, she says, you've really cleaned up the car since last time.
I've had more people in it recently.
Oh, I bet.
No, I just keep driving.
She turns to look at you, Nord. Aren't these comfortable seats?
They're very comfortable. I'm glad you feel comfortable.
For the record, we have not done anything.
Metagaming. That is metagaming.
For as much as Nord is is kind of touching and feeling like I haven't felt any response that Simon has taken any sort of interest.
I mean, do you say that out loud?
No.
Then no one knows it.
I mean, I don't think Nord has noticed. I mean, Nord didn't notice
Yep.
that
I dig
Simon. How's that? He wouldn't have noticed because it's not a thing that he would do.
Right. The antagonist to Arbiter would make you roll a reaction roll, but I don't care to do that. I think it's great that you don't notice. That's an interesting trait about your character. So I'll give you a trait for it.
Okay.
We'll call it a flaw though. It'll be a flaw.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can decide what it is.
Didn't notice.
Yeah, great.
Oblivious.
Oblivious. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's like oblivious to thing he doesn't care about.
Yep. Like the forest for the trees kind of thing.
Yeah.
So when we get there, maybe the two of you are the more charismatic ones to try and find out where the masquerade is. I can get it out of someone, but I would do it the tougher way.
Sounds like a good plan. While this conversation is going on, Nord is absolutely kind of touching and moving, doing like the sly kind of like, trying to seduce Rebecca.
What do you bid?
I bid. Can I bid? No, I'm not going to bid oblivious. I would like to bid human because he is a human with hormones.
Yeah, she's.
I'm gonna like if she like pushes back at all. I'll probably ease back, but like he's just gonna kind of, put his arm around her and down her shoulder if.
She is well practiced in this sort of engagement, and goes with it.
Cool.
There's the expected amount of resistance of this sort of play.
As we're talking,
What's up, Nestal? Did you change your name? Nostalgic? Hell yeah. Yes. No, not a death sandwich. Cucumbers. Sorry, go on.
as we were talking, I am going to suggest that Simon had a good idea and then enter the conversation. I think that's appropriate, Simon. I think that these guys are going to smell a narc from a mile away. If we kind of go in and stagger our way in, maybe you go in first alone, and then we'll come in just after you, and then maybe have Leah and Tony go in maybe as a date. Maybe that's the thing, or stagger our entrances and feel out the bar. We know. Do we have a description of our contact here?
Well, no, all they talked about was the lead singer, Levi.
Yeah.
Merc
Levi.
May.
Oh, she's
May
great.
I know what she
some-
looks like.
She's great. She's really just the way she sings. You see Rebecca kind of look up. Tony.
But you know her.
Would you roll me 2d10? We're going to add 2 to that. How many successes you get?
I got rolled 2 successes because one of them was a 10.
Nice. So 2 successes and then plus 2 is 4. So that is limbo. As Rebecca looks up and Nord, you might notice that her eyes are a little bit watery, maybe a little bit bloodshot. As she looks up and she blinks a little and kind of sways a little bit, kind of like relaxes into your arms.
Yeah, I'm gonna bid addict and see if she's okay.
Bidding addict, I mean, you know she's drank a lot, and you maybe wonder how much she's drank. Maybe it's catching up with her. At this point, it doesn't look like she hasn't exhibited any other signs than like maybe she's taken a downer or something.
Sure.
Your first inclination would not be nightshade.
Yeah, I would imagine not.
But she's feeling something as she kind of like looks up at you. It's like that scene in what is the Ben Affleck movie, Gone Girl? Is that what it is? You know what I'm talking about, the scene? It's it bookends the film. Anyway.
Well, I'm glad she ate that bologna sandwich.
Yeah. She looks up, she goes,
helped.
"Oh, Levi is, I don't know her, I guess. But I feel like I do. I mean, I've heard her voice in my dreams. It's so haunting, and but I've only seen her maybe, you see her kind of furrow her brow. I don't know, a couple of times. She's not always there. And she's doing that thing where like she's talking really close to your face. And she's sweating profusely.
Oh, nice. And so I don't, like, because she's continuing to sweat, I don't have any suspicion of she's just sweating. Okay. Am I sweating?
Looks like.
Are you?
I don't think so.
I mean, it's humid outside. It's spring.
I'm wearing a suit.
Yeah, Simon doesn't have any AC. Yeah, you're sweating.
Okay.
She's sweating a lot. You know, she's in the dress and she's got her she's got the jacket on.
Okay.
Maybe there's a little bit of beaded sweat on her brow.
Yeah. You hot? Should we turn on the air conditioning?
Yeah, I'm hot. Oh, yeah. Do you have AC? Burning up in here. Ugh.
I can turn
At
the
least crack the windows.
I can turn the fan on high.
All right.
And so I'll turn
As
the
you
fan
do.
on.
It helps a little.
Yeah, I think this bar is gonna respond a little bit more to us than Detective Simon.
No, I understand. That's why I said that.
But if you have any ideas, please, we'll try
ideas
to
tend to be-
communicate.
Yeah, if you need
We just-
any help, if you get into a situation where you need me to come bust heads, signal me.
Okay, let's hope that doesn't happen. It's just a club.
But I know,
don't
but I'm just
expect-
saying, if you get into a situation that could turn into a physical situation, you let me know.
Sure. We should be good.
I don't want to bust any heads, but
Yeah.
I don't want you guys to get hurt because I'm 3 stools down the bar.
Sure.
I really don't want to get into any kind of fight again out there.
Have you been in a fight here before?
She looks up at you. Yeah, I'll be honest, the hideaway, I mean, if you're not in with them and you don't know their like password or whatever, I mean, they'll just throw you out. And some people don't like that. And, some of the guys I'm with, and she kind of just starts going on and on and on.
Sure. I think we know the password.
Oh, you do? Of course you do. I really like you, Nord. I don't want to hurt you.
I like you too.
I don't want to hurt you.
I don't think you will.
I'm not a good person.
Well, I'm not a good person either.
But I'm a bad person.
I just roll my eyes.
We're all
and
people.
that's what I see.
People are people. We're just people, just trying to make it in this world.
You see,
You
you're
know?
kind of like a. Do you have any water?
I think we've got some bourbon.
Oh, I'll have some of that.
Simon, do you have anything to drink in here? Maybe water, maybe bourbon. I think she's thirsty.
This is the 80s. I pop open the glove compartment and there's a bottle in it. It's the 80s. It didn't matter, man.
That's right. There's no seatbelt or anything.
Yeah.
Alcohol poisoning. Here we come.
There's a dare sticker on the back seat.
Take it easy on that.
I give
You
her.
guys take it easy on that because you guys need to be talking to people in there.
I'm
Sure.
fine. I'm gonna be great. As she takes a pull from the bourbon.
All right.
And I will put my hand back to get the bottle back.
You do.
Yeah. I'll
Remember,
hand it
we're in the
back to him.
dread since Nord bid.
Sorry,
You give it back
guys.
to me?
Yeah, of course
That's
I give
fine.
it back to him.
Okay. Then I'll
All right,
I don't
so-
take it. Nord is not a big drinker. He's more into the organic stuff.
Organic, like cocaine. Organic.
So in the van, I'm sorry, not the van. The van's tucked away. In Leah's car. So you guys go around the bend where Leah had parked her husband's car. This is the Corolla, I believe, right?
Yeah.
The beat up, sort of rusted out Corolla. I imagine, oh yeah, nice picture. There it is. So it's kind of silver and white, maybe a little bit of extra paint job on it. Leah, you get in. Is it a stick shift or is it a manual? I'm sorry, or is it a is it a stick or a stick? Is it a stick or automatic?
I'm gonna guess it'd probably be automatic.
All right. So you got one of those newfangled machines, and yeah, you guys jump in. Of course, no seatbelts. While this is technically your car, you don't necessarily know, Leah, what is in it. As you see, like several receipts. They won't be credit card receipts because people really didn't use credit cards for that kind of stuff at this time. So it'll be all cash receipts. Some paper bags and such, wadded up. The kind of paper bags you would get at a liquor store. Bunch of cigarette packets all over the place. That sort of thing. And the ashtray is full of cigarette butts. He's been smoking again. Everybody smokes. It's the 80s. In the back seat, Tony, you might see just as you get in the passenger side. Was McDonald's was a thing in the early 80s, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Some
Yes, it was.
McDonald's and Wendy's packages, all thrown to the side, and underneath them, a few Hustlers.
Leah will actually have a look in the glove compartment just out of curiosity.
Between Tony's legs, as the glove compartment falls down, and you see definitely a gun. There's always a gun. There's always a gun in the glove compartment. It'll be a medium pistol. We'll call it a revolver. 6 rounds, and what's a good revolver to have in a glove compartment? 22. Is there a 9mm revolver?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we'll do a 9mm. We'll do that. So it's 2d4 plus 1 damage is what it's got on it. And Nord, will you roll me?
It'd
2D
actually be a. Could it actually be a 38 special?
Yeah, sure. Be 38 then. 38 special. Nord, will you roll me 2d12, and that's how many rounds it actually has. They'll be loose rounds. So it'll be loaded, and then it'll have these rounds total.
It is 10 and 12, so there's 22.
Nice. So you got 6 rounds loaded, and then what is that? Is that 16? And then 16 loose of the 38 special variety.
Leah will
remember,
actually.
go on.
Oh.
Go on.
Do you want to use that, Tony?
I have my own, but I figured you would probably use it.
Can you say that again,
well,
Tony?
and that's
I mean, it's not mine, but it's work issued as long as I still have a job there. I figured you might need it.
I have a gun already, but this is actually works out well, and she'll pop open the cylinder and drop the rounds into her hand and put those with the rest of them, and then reach into her pocket and pull out the rune rounds and start shoving them in the cylinder and close it up.
All right. Just make a note that you have those in there.
Just so you know, you might want to keep these away from Mariah, and I point to the magazines.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. But hopefully she won't be riding in this car.
I mean, I'm not judging anymore.
Hmm?
I'm out of that line of work. And as long as you declare them, I'll let you through in my other line of work too. Anyways,
as you guys are following the Buick toward the hideaway.
I also know where it is. So even if we get lost, I can point us there.
Yep. Remember, you guys are in the Dread.
Yeah. I think Cloyce made my apartment smell horrible.
Oh?
Yeah,
What did it smell like?
a swamp.
Interesting.
Yeah, he went through everything. Next time you see him, aside from killing him again, tell him maybe not to do that next time.
I mean, I don't think he's going to listen to any of us right now.
Well, I mean, you know him. You know him better than I do.
I don't think I know him anymore. I mean, I don't think he's the same person he was when I knew him.
I don't think he might not be the same person when I knew him. Because I shot him.
I mean, assuming that he is actually dead, I imagine he's being controlled by somebody involved with all this crap we're dealing with right now.
And who do you think might be controlling all of this stuff that we're dealing with right now?
I don't know for sure, although that one woman we met in
Eunice?
Annabelle's apartment.
Oh, Rebecca.
Yes, she seems to have a bit of an attitude. I don't know. I wouldn't. Assuming she's involved with all this, I could see her being the one doing such things. She certainly has a bitchy attitude enough for it. She's also I get the impression she thinks she's superior to everyone. So.
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
As you guys are going, since you're in Loria, one of you can roll a reaction roll. This would be wits. If the other one wants to aid, you can. To do this aid, you would bid something and then give the person rolling an aspect die, likely your wits or your mind. So choose amongst yourself. And you don't have to aid, but one of you needs to roll.
I'll roll. Since I'm driving.
You don't have to, but you can.
Well, that'd be 3 successes anyway.
Tony, are you going to aid
I will aid
Leah?
with wits.
Okay, so what's your wits die?
It is a D8.
You get that D8. And Tony, what do you bid to aid?
I will bid. I will bid. I'll bid local. I see. I'll if it looks like something that's should not be there, I'll know real quick.
All right. And what'd you get total?
It ended up being a total of 4 successes.
Nice. All right, so you will get a narrative point because you beat it by 2. As you guys are going, the Buick goes up a little bit. Leah yawns widely, and you remember, Tony and Leah, how tired your characters are because it's been quite a while since you've had like a good full night's rest. As the Buick takes a right, and heads down, one of the main streets to get to the hideaway. Leah, you happen to notice that car that's been behind you for a while is likely following you. It's following a good block back. It's pretty late at night. The road is slick, and as it has been raining in this area, this part of town, a lot of the street lights are out, so it's just rather dark, and there's cars going to and fro and such. But you've noticed this one pair of headlights with amber running lights behind you. It's a wide set car, maybe some kind of Oldsmobile or something.
Tony, you know how to get there pretty well, do you not?
Yeah, I know where it is.
Okay. And then at that, Leah will basically make a hard turn onto a side street if there's one available.
You do, yeah.
And as she basically gets out of direct line of sight from the main road, I'm assuming there's probably buildings all around.
Oh yeah, you're in deep ass Detroit.
Okay, so as soon as she can no longer see the headlights from the car behind her, she'll pull over, and turn her headlights out.
You do that. Up in the Buick, you guys are going, and Simon, make a reaction roll, or you can bid. So it's a bid or a throwdown.
I am going to bid on this, and I'm going to bid Street Smart.
Bidding Street Smart, you're checking the mirrors pretty often, and you note, this mosquito trying to bite my nose. You note Leah's headlights wink out as you catch her quickly turn down a side street behind you, and go out of sight. A few cars are going and such. With Street Smart, you'll see maybe 5-6 seconds later, as you're watching, a car follows
Follows her.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Hold on, guys. Let's circle the block real quick.
It is an
Nord holds on
Oldsmobile.
tight to Rebecca.
She holds on tight to you, but you note that she's a little bit limp.
Oh my goodness.
It is an Oldsmobile from the 70s, is what the make of the car. We'll say that it's kind of a gray.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
nice picture. That's exactly it.
Did these cars? I don't know much about the car that is currently that I'm driving. Do they have like those pass-through seats? to the trunk?
You know, I don't know. I don't know when
back seat?
that was. Yeah, I don't know when that was implemented.
I think that
It'd be
I don't
heavy.
think that was in the 80s.
I don't think that was either. I think it probably had a bucket seat. Not a bucket seat. It probably had one seat in the front and one seat in the back, is my guess.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
Okay.
Even though they did start folding seats in the 80s, that was a thing.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just make the call that it doesn't, unless chat,
Okay, what do you think?
Yeah,
Well, anyway,
chat says
Leah,
the 90s.
Okay. Anyway, Leah will pull out her gun and basically flip over into the back seat, and it's like, I might pull your gun myself if I were you.
Yeah, Tony, you see Leah stop the car, flip the lights off, and systematically do this like ninja roll as she appears with her gun up in the back seat, crouching down, and you're just kind of sitting there with your dick in your hands.
I crouch down. I say,
You
what's
crouch down in the
what's going
passenger
on?
seat.
What's
We're
going
being
on?
followed.
Oh,
A few moments later, as she says that, the bright lights of the headlights, far down the street still, pass in front of you and cast the shadow of your head on the interior of the car. Of course, it's going everywhere, but the stark contrast as you duck down really quick. The car starts slowly moving down the way. Leah, would you like to bid anything for your maneuvering, or are you letting it up to the fates?
I'll bid cloak and dagger.
All right, go ahead and throw down.
Let's.
Normally that would work perfectly fine, unless it was difficult or, in this case, opposed.
So that is 2 successes.
All right, then. Give me just a second. I'm gonna pull up this person and roll the dice. I could use a fine function, but I'm not gonna. All right, I need someone to roll me some dice. We'll
I'll
say,
roll.
no, you're involved in this scene. You can't do it.
dang.
I got
We'll
it.
say, yeah, we got Simon. It'd be a D10 and a D8. The bow death is +3.
Ooh. So that'll be a total of 5.
All right.
2 successes plus 3.
Rebecca, you're not Rebecca. Leah, as you get your gun out, this car, this Oldsmobile, is all the way down the block. We'll say you went like a quarter of the way down this block. Maybe it's a mile long or something. Big old city block, just a gnarly longitudinal block. The terrain, there's lots of cars on either side. Whoa, there's a dog. There's chain link fence with barbed wire on both sides. It's kind of an industrial part of town. So behind the fences, you'll see some machinery on either side, some storage units, and some really, what do you call them? Not low level, not Section 8. What do you call it? Efficiency apartments and such, sort of towering out here and there. There's some homeless shanty, like corrugated steel tents and little huts here and there that people are squatting in this part of town. The car is moving rather slowly, and it has one of those police lights on the side where the side mirror is. As that spotlight turns on, this brilliantly bright light, and starts looking around, you'll definitely get the sense that when they get up to you, they'll likely see you. and if they know the make and model of your car, it's pretty obvious. So they got 5 successes, you got 2. Unless you can add something to that. Ideas, you've got proficiencies, you have ninja gear, including the car you could use. You've got abilities if they apply, and if all else fails, you can spend 1 point of breath to forego everything, and you immediately go to limbo. So it's up to you.
Hey, why don't we just take off?
You could also do that.
Okay. In that case, since I see them, using the spotlight to search, do I look around? Do I see any?
If they're out of their car, let's just leave.
Oh, no, they're not out of the car. They have one of those. It sounds like they have one of those spotlights on the car.
Yeah.
Actually, Leah will. I'm assuming these are one of like those old like roll down windows.
Oh yeah. There's no such thing as non-roll down windows.
Okay.
There's
Leah
broken windows.
will start. Leah will start slowly rolling down the window.
Back window. Yep.
Yeah, and then wait till the spotlight is pointed in a direction away from them,
Mm-hmm.
and basically try and shoot out their spotlight.
Okay, you won't be close enough yet unless you're going to do it at quite a distance. So
Yeah.
you're about a quarter of the way. So you're about a quarter mile away from them right now. So you can make that shot if you wish.
And you gotta think that that's gonna be on the other side of the car.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will wait.
You can still wait.
I'll wait
Yeah.
a minute. Yeah, I'll wait till
Okay.
they get a little closer.
So if you've noticed, we're not gone into rounds yet. It's because they haven't spotted you. No pun intended. This is all sort of just a back and forth.
Actually, what I'll go ahead and do, since I definitely can tell that they're pretty decent far away still, I'll still wait till their spotlight is pointed another direction, and then open up the back door that is on the passenger side.
Okay, you do.
And
So you're on the right side, so you're on the sidewalk. There's since it's Detroit, it's been raining, there's a nice puddle right there. Big ass awful puddle.
And then Leah will close the door and then go into an alley, basically.
Oh, you get out
somewhere
of the
near
car.
Yeah.
Okay. So while this is happening, Tony, you notice the back door open. Leah pops out and abandons you. You see her run down this side street. There are buildings. They're set back since it's an industrial park.
We get out and follow her.
If you've got a narrative point, you can make it to where there's buildings closer to the.
Oh yeah, I'll use a narrative point for that.
All right, so you spend a narrative point, meaning that this is a section where there's actually buildings right up, and you can kind of break line of sight pretty fast. Are you going to bid anything when you do this, or are you just kind of doing it?
I'll just do that for just
Okay,
that part.
you just do it. And Tony, what are you doing as you see Leah do this?
I'm going to get out and follow her.
Okay, so what we're going to do here, you guys have a pretty good chance. I'm going to give you a bid or a throw down. So you need 1 success if you throw down to evade these people seeing you. Because they got 5 successes on your 2. There's a good chance they see you. So bid or throw down, and you will succeed in what you're trying to do. Because you had a pretty strategic way of doing it. So all you need is 1 success or a bid.
Oh, I'll throw down.
Okay. Look it up.
And this would be probably Grace.
Yeah, fine. And you too, Tony. Then we're going to jump over to the Buick.
So yeah, I have 2 successes.
Yep. All right. So since it's 2 successes, threshold 0, you get another narrative point. What about you, Tony? You bidding or throwing down?
I am going to. I'm going to throw down Grace.
Yep. Everyone's scared of traits. I love it.
Yeah. It's no successes.
All right.
Actually,
Leah, behind you.
Since I already got that that narrative point, I'll go ahead and spend it right away, and say that there is a like some raggedy old tarp near where we parked the car, and as I'm getting ready to go down the aisle, I'll just toss it. Oh, sort of not all the way over the car, but kind of like just over the car haphazardly.
Okay. As you use your narrative point to quickly do that, as you see that happening, Tony is still in the car as he looks up at you, and you might question, why hasn't he moved yet? As he kind of hesitates and then gets out of the car. And Tony, what do you say to Leah since you got 0 successes?
Where are you going?
You hear him say, not loudly, but it somehow echoes.
I'm going to try and ambush them.
As Tony gets out, sloshes through. It's like he's like wading, like tit deep. He's like doing the fucking freestyle through, you know what I'm saying? Like waves and shit coming over, like lightning strikes. Big spotlight comes out. There's a fucking hot air balloon. My point is, he gets 0 successes, making a lot of noise.
His stealth roll did not go well.
No, he like slips a little bit, drops his keys, picks those up. I mean, you guys can stop me at any point. I can keep going. A dog appears and starts barking at you. There's a bear with it, pointing.
Do you have anything to reroll, or?
A limo pulls up. God steps out. Hey, what are you two doing here? Where are you going?
I'm going to spend a breath.
Oh, okay. You can do that. None of that happens, but that's like what happens in your mind, Leah. It's like when you're looking at someone fail so badly, but then it doesn't go as bad as you think. And you wonder, how did that happen? How did the note stick on the door and fool the other detectives? You don't know. Maybe it makes you angry, but it works. As Tony scrambling out of the car steps into the puddle, trips on a rock, face plants on the sidewalk as you crouch down, the spotlight over top of you all, and you're able to get into the alleyway at the Buick. What y'all doing?
The minute that the first right I can make, I'm going to take. Because I'm going to try to circle the block and stop before the road that I saw them turn on.
Yeah, since it's... Go on.
Oh, I was going to say, does Street Smart still...
Yeah, Street Smart. That was really good bid.
So I knew what street she turned down, and so I'm going to make a right and come back that way, but I'm not going to go down that street. I'm going to stop right before it.
Special thanks to Patreon patrons. If you want to join the Patreon, join it. It's DreadLore. It will help us in our filmmaking ideas. It will help us in making these podcasts and all that good stuff. Okay, so they are Tim Roberts and Mr. Daniel Holker. Thank you very much. Media production is by Couch Fire Media. If you need some media production, check out Couch Fire Media. I should say www.couchfiremedia.com. Music is by all lowercase letters, which you can find on everywhere. If you're doing your TikToks, if you're doing your Instagrams, check out all lowercase letters. Good shit. Also, your interrupt. We're going to be back here Monday 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, we will likely do our Into Space saga. So the near future. It's basically Starship Troopers or aliens. It's going to be a lot of fun. We might have a guest star. But check us out then. If you want to do the podcast, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, DreadLore or The Red Writ, either one. Please like, subscribe, follow, do all the free stuff. All of that absolutely fucking helps us. And gets this word out so that, we can make something even bigger and better out of this. Yes, that's what we got. Great. Okay. Anything else? Bye, everybody.
See you after hours.
How quick are we coming back for after hours?
We'll be on the after hours in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Or 10.
Minutes. We are going to cut the stream, but we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Later, guys.
Yeah, Drizzle, it's up. Bye, Holker. Yeah, Drizzle, it is up to you, sir. How long?